What's up, everybody? Welcome to the first episode of the Sad Boiz Gurlz Club.
Yo.
With your hosts, me, Chris B, and
the other Chris B. Hi. What's up?
So in this podcast, we really don't know what we're going to do. Kind of.
No, I mean, like, we have a kind of a direction, and then we're just going to take it as we go, you know?
That is what she said.
Yeah, hell yeah. I mean, how else, you know?
All right, so how did this podcast begin? I'm asking you, Chris.
All right, well, I came in here, and I feel like
Where's here?
I came in here to Lana Lane, and I feel like we just vibed, and we clicked really well. Mm-hmm. And I said, you know what, you look like you need a co-host. And here I am a week and a half later. And
has it been a week and a half?
Yeah, it's already been a week and a half. I mean, like, we are on quarantine time. So what is time, you know?
What is time? What is day?
What is it, you know?
It's like that, I love that meme, that Spider-Man meme where it's like the 7 different Spider-Mans. It's just like,
that's literally us. It's like, what's happening anymore, you know? But we did do a little social experiment.
Yes.
Yeah,
So, could you explain to the listeners and the viewers and you guys there on Instagram?
Yeah. So we thought it'd be really interesting to kind of compare our answers. We asked the same question on a poll on Insta. Mm-hmm. And so we're thinking, you know, maybe we can ask the same question and then compare our answers depending on who follows us and kind of talk it over. So the question that we asked was pertaining to our podcast, what should we talk about? Mm-hmm. And so a lot of you guys wrote in with some great suggestions, some funny ones too. So do you want to go first? Do you want to take it away?
My phone's on live. I kind of remember it though. It was.
I mean, I can go first. It doesn't matter.
I'll just get mine out of the way.
All right, shoot, let's go.
The most memorable ones. Fucking A, I hate my friends. I love you guys and hate you guys all at the same time. But the one that stood out the most was just like finger banging. I'm like, are you fucking serious? And then the one after that was like Asian with big dicks. And I'm like, all right.
Some ABD.
Yeah. And then like some other ones that are in ABD?
Did I just...
I know.
Honestly, we should... You know what we should have done? Was we should have wrote down all the topics and like pulled it out of a hat or something and just talked about that.
Oh, man.
Because I got some really weird ones too.
Yeah. But... what else did I get? Oh, it was funny because like one person said, talk about RuneScape. And then I have a friend who's like really into RuneScape who just said, I don't know, he said something like, not even like dumb. He's just like something out of the ordinary. And when I posted up the results and literally like their answers were next to each other, he just like, he like DMs me back like with the eyes. It's like RuneScape. And I'm like, bro, I'm surprised you didn't say that. Like, so did you know you actually can make a lot of money on RuneScape? Okay,
I'm sorry, but what is RuneScape? Fuck. You're going to hate me, but what is it?
So RuneScape, oh man, listeners, viewers are going to hate me for this, but RuneScape is, okay, I'm butchering it, but I'm going to say it's like a poor man's WoW. Do you know what WoW is? So WoW stands for World of Warcraft.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's an RPG game that like, you know, you take on this persona from like different races and whatever. Mm-hmm. And it's a consistent grind and questing. I mean, there is like a storyline for WoW, but in RuneScape, honestly, I don't know much. So it's pretty much like imagine that kind of gameplay, but I mean, RuneScape technically is free, I think.
I'm not a gamer, although I did just buy a Nintendo 64. Or no, I bought a Super Nintendo. I bought a Super Nintendo. Literally, I saw, I was like, all right, you're coming with me. Yeah. No, it's such a good find.
Did you even turn it on?
No, I don't have any games yet.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was supposed to do. I have some. But anyways.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
We can talk about this after.
Yeah. So anyways, yeah, so RuneScape, there's like, so I guess there's like a black marketed RuneScape. So you know how I was saying like, yeah, you're just like, you know, doing these quests to get like items and whatever. So you can hire someone with like real money. Like, hey, can you do this side quest for me? Or like, I need 50 mushrooms or fuck, I don't know, the lingos for RuneScape. But yeah, so like I thought my friend was joking at first because we used to work at this bar in Chinatown like years ago, and I'm like, why are you so into RuneScape?
What
like,
bar did you work at anyway? Just
shout out Manifest. I'm actually wearing their shirt right now. So this is two dogs. This is March and Mia. R.I.P. Mia. We miss you. But yeah. Anyways, what I was getting to? Oh yeah, so he was like a cook there, and like, during downtime he'd be playing RuneScape. I'm like, how the fuck? Like, I would be wondering, like, how the hell he like would. He's kind of bougie. Is that the right word? Oh, he's like, he would have like a porter bag, Gucci flip flops, and stuff like that. And
that's a vibe.
Yeah, seriously. And like, not until like, what was it? Honestly, earlier this year, I seen like a post on Twitter, and they're talking about like how much money this guy's making through RuneScape. I'm like, I sent that screen cap to my friend that does play it and like kind of banks off of it. He's like, yeah, dude, like that shit's real. Like, if I like hired you to do a quest or whatever, it's like a $50 favor you're asking, and just times that by whatever.
That's nuts. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, that you can profit off that. That could be a little side hustle,
Or like your main hustle.
Oh, yeah, it could be. Shit.
It's some people's one. Yeah, it's fucking wild. Yeah. So, okay. I digress. Anyways, back to like my results. And I think that was kind of it. Someone said politics. I'm like, no, there's too much of that.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in this world right now.
That's not what this podcast is for. This is for you to take a break from the real world.
Exactly.
Real world road rules. Say that 5 times fast.
I noticed a lot of the answers I got like maybe 16 or so. I got one on murder. I thought for a lot of you guys that know me, I'm a big crime junkie person. I know you're not.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
Why?
fucking weird.
Really? I love crime junkies. Or just any crime related podcast, man. Love it.
I don't know. It's like, I don't even watch like, I don't really like horror films too. Mm-hmm. Like, even though it's not the same.
Do you just not have an interest in it, or?
Am I like afraid of it? Maybe. Yeah. I think I kind of got scarred as a kid.
Ooh, psychological turn. Let's hear it.
No, because it would be like those, oh my God, what was it? Like in like the late 90s, early 2000s, it would be right before the news or after the news where they would be like, oh, is that why everyone has like super fascinated with it? Because like, yeah, so like the early or late 90s, early 2000s, there used to be that that crime show, right? They would like reenact, oh, this is what happened, and like in a very ominous tone, and then they would like hire reenactors and whatever, and then like that started feeding into this weird fear of like me taking out the trash at night and fucking murder. It comes out of nowhere, and I'm just like,
it's no lie. I binge watched an entire podcast, and I was just terrified to go outside. It would take me like 5 minutes just to prep myself to get out of my car. It's no joke.
So what in those 5 minutes are you doing to prep?
Just like, all right, well, I need to get out of my car, It's like, oh, I need it because it's dark outside. Similar to you don't want to take out the trash. I don't want to get out of my car. There might be a murder.
Oh my God. So like, in the 5 minutes, you're like, I'm gonna trick this asshole. He's thinking I'm coming in my car now.
Yeah, I'm like sprinting to my house, like, oh shit,
Not today, Satan.
Yeah, for real, knees to chest, just like sprinting.
It's like you running away from your feelings. Oh my God.
Just a one singular tear.
Oh my God, pour one for the homies.
I know, for real, pour one out. Let's see what other responses I got. Okay, so murder. I got a lot of questions about healthy eats. I'm vegan. Hi, I've been vegan for like 5 years.
Oh damn.
I know, and I've been vegetarian before that for 2 years. So I got a couple inquiries about what I eat, which was really interesting. It's not just salads for people who are kind of unfamiliar.
It's salads with Oreos.
Exactly. How did you know? Shh, don't tell anybody. No. What else did I get? Long distance relationships, sex and relationships. So, I mean, your answers were a lot more fun, I guess, Is it? Yeah, hell yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Where do we go?
I mean, we could talk about one,
I feel like we already grazed through mines. It's just like real quickies.
Yeah, I mean, like, what is there to talk about finger banging, You
were talking about
we can't do the whole entire podcast about finger banging.
He's talking about the band, right? From South Park. Oh, you've never seen that.
Oh, wait. Which episode is that? Can you like paint a picture so I can
It was
remember?
like back when, what was it? Like the creators of South Park was teasing boy bands. And then
I don't think I saw that
the
one.
boys made a band. And then they were
The Finger Bangers.
The Finger Bangers. And then the song was like...
Why?
And the song was just like, finger bang, bang you into my life. Girl, na, 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 na,
No, I've
na,
never
na.
sing that episode. And I was such a big South Park person too. Interesting.
Yeah, it was so dumb.
Yeah, send it my way. I
Finger
wanna see.
bang, bang, bang. Like, that's the song. Legit. Holy shit. I gotta pull that up.
Yeah, can you? Jeez. Yeah, all my answers are like kind of weak, to be honest.
All right. So,
Yeah.
to the followers,
Yeah,
that was a week.
shout out to you guys. No content. Thanks.
Oh my God. Okay, so I talked about this with my friend earlier today.
Yeah, let's hear it.
What is your ideal first date?
My ideal first date? Oh my
Yes.
God.
Okay, let me ask you this. Does
Let's hear
a
it.
guy need to say that it's a date to
this
confirm
is
that
a-
we're going on a date?
I feel like there's signs that people know that it's a date,
Yes.
whether the guy pays for the meal. It is 2020. I feel like it is kind of
Right,
like a
right,
two-way
right.
street. And depending on the girl, like I like to pay for my own stuff. I don't
Yeah.
want a guy to pay for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like you can kind of tell, you know, if the person's like walking near you or how the conversation's going, how interactive it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are your signs to know, like, to distinguish, oh, this is a hangout, or like, oh, this is a date for sure?
Oh, I don't know. I'm oblivious to signs.
Yo, I feel like that's definitely a toxic trait. How are you oblivious? What do you do?
What do you mean? I don't know. I'm just like, oh, that's cool. And then there's like,
She's just like hella interested in you, and you just
yeah, there was like one time like a girl like slept. This was like back in high school days and whatever. And like, she like, yeah, she like, we like, or what is it? So she like slept over, and then like,
oh damn, she slept over. Okay.
and I did nothing. It was like, okay, go to bed. Like she like came in like just like underwear, and it's just like,
Oh yeah, that's definitely a
alright.
sign.
and I just like flipped around like back face towards her to sleep.
Oh my
I
god.
was just like, oh, and then like the next morning, it just was like weirdly awkward.
Oh yeah, she was definitely trying to shoot her shot, and
Oh,
you
yeah.
just denied her. You literally just turned around.
I was just like,
You're like,
okay,
all
man.
right, good night, I'm out. See you later. Like what?
Yeah, so I'm that kind of guy. I do not take signs. Oh, I think she like might have tried to grab my crotch too in the morning, and then I'm just like kind of froze, and I was like, what the
What
fuck
did
is
you
going?
do?
What did I do?
In your mind, are you still interpreting that? I wonder if she likes
Oh, it took me till like later at the end of the day where I was
Bruh.
I was just like fucking over there in the corner, like, oh,
Oh, maybe she was trying to. Yeah, what?
yeah. So I don't know what signs are. I mean, I know Signs the movie, but
Oh, okay. No, I feel like you can tell just by people's body language.
see, but then this is what I talked about with some friends. It's like, especially. Oh, sorry, like shifting gears real quick. Anyways,
Yeah, you want to just call them out or what?
no. So like, especially like in this day and age, it's super hard, especially with the cancel culture going on, and like everyone's getting outed. So it's like, I think in today's whatever is going on in the world, you can't assume. Am I wrong to think that? Or do you think that like the magic and the romance is now gone because of that?
You're asking me, and I'm just like anti relationship and feelings right now.
Wow. Welcome to the Sad Boiz Gurlz Club.
So, I know.
Oh my God.
No, I mean, like, what do you mean by cancel culture? Like,
Whoa.
no, I know what it is,
Yeah.
but I always, when I hear cancel culture, I'm thinking like, oh, a celebrity did something wrong, and like, oh,
Yeah,
we should
yeah.
not like that person and like support them as an artist anymore. So,
So
they're
it's like
canceled,
that,
you know?
but then it's like within communities now. So in like creative communities, like per state or per city, whatever it is, it's like everyone's getting outed, and it's like I know it's like hard
Oh,
for like,
yeah.
yeah. So it's stuff like that going on. And I don't know. Wait, where was I going with this? But yeah, so that's why it's like now it's like, you can't really just assume, and it's like And that's the thing. It's like, thinking back, like there's a lot of things that happened in like the past 5, 10, 20 years where you're just like, what was it? Like, there's like certain movies where you're just like, if they made that today, no way it would fly.
You know what it was? Is I was watching Hangover. And I was watching it and I was like, wow, this is kind of making me uncomfortable because although it came out just not even a decade ago, maybe it came out, I don't know. But I was watching it, I was like, wow, they just said the R word. And I was like, people would be so shunned if they said that now. Or just like saying.
Sorry, I was like, the R word. I'm like,
what's that? No.
He's like, he's a retard.
Yeah. And I'm like, damn, people wouldn't say that now. But back then it was comedic.
Yeah. And that's why I feel
comedy,
even bad too for like comedians. It's just like,
do you think we're more sensitive now, like people our generation, or
I think
we're
it's
just more woke?
I think
sensitivity doesn't have to be a bad thing.
Exactly. It's like, I mean, there is some people that are hypersensitive, and I understand, especially being a person of color, a type of minority, blah 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 blah. But it's just like,
okay, if we're
talking,
need
that humor, yeah.
What are you? Like, what's your ethnic background?
Okay, so we're shifting gears again. We'll come back to, what were we talking about earlier? Sensitivity, taking hints. Yeah, we'll come back to taking hints in a bit.
Well, I mean, okay, I've always been curious about this. When you say a person of color, are you talking about their physical appearance, or are they just not from this country?
Physical appearance.
Yeah.
Because nationality is different from ethnicity, right? Not a lot of people do know that. They're like, what's your nationality? I'm American.
Yeah.
You're like, you don't look American. You ask for my nationality. Like,
what are you?
What am I?
What even are you?
Like, what do you mean? What do I identify as?
No. Shifts gears again.
Not to be insensitive, but
you're Filipino.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, me too.
Like
I'm
seven,
half.
or like, fuck, I can't reverse math right now. Well, yeah,
Don't
so I'm Filipino and I'm 18% Chinese.
18%. That's so specific. How did you ever? Did you do like a test, like a 23andMe?
Yep, that exact
one.
one.
So how do you? Okay.
Yeah.
What else were your results? I'm always curious.
I mean, literally, it's just that, like Filipino and then 18% Chinese. Yeah.
It's kind of crazy that you can just. Did you have to like swap your cheek and then send it in?
No. Wait, how did I do this? No, this one was like you just had to spit in it and then like send it and like, or like you shake it and then you send it. I know a lot of people. There is controversy right now.
I was gonna say, isn't
about
there
like you're selling your data and blah 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 blah. And like what I personally find funny is oh my god, yeah. So it's like the people that are like, oh, I would never do 23andMe because they steal your genetic data, whatever. I'm like, okay, fine, that's true. But these same people are using like
does it anyway.
I know. No, but then these people that are against it, I'm like, I swear to God, I've seen you guys use those face apps where it like changes your gender, changes your age, and I'm like, you guys don't read the terms in that. And like when what was it? Maybe last year or something, when it was like trending, the whole like the age one, right?
You as a guy, or the age one. Yeah,
like everyone for like a week straight was using that, and I'm like, man, this seems super fishy. Then like after that week, they'd
be stealing your data anyway. You know, just like people are putting in Alexas in their house and stuff. Like it's nuts. I still think it's crazy when you're thinking of something like of an object to buy, and then you get an advertise it for me. Someone make it make sense. I can't. You know.
So it's kind of crazy how that works. Sorry, I just wanted to finish my thought.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Finish it. We're spiraling right now. Go ahead.
Oh, man. 2 shots of Tito's. Here we go.
I know.
We woke now. No, but like, so like, with that, what is it? That aging app or whatever.
Oh, okay,
yeah. Like, so not till like a week later, people found out that you're actually, I don't know if it was like Russia or China, but you're forfeiting your image. So they have the right to the photo of your face. So that's why I didn't like it, because I'm like, this isn't built into like Instagram or whatever. It's like a third-party app that you have to download, and it's just like the fact that you're taking it and you're just like, will you use blah 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 app to access your photos? And it's just like that.
Okay, let me ask you something. Since you did 23andMe, does it specify, or is that something that you read? What do they do with the rest of your DNA? Do they just keep it somewhere? Do they throw it away? Like what?
No, well, you mean like with the rest of my spit?
Yeah.
No, yeah, they throw it away. I'm pretty sure. I hope so.
I mean,
make
like,
a clone of me. That's cool. Shit. Can I borrow that, the guy?
I got shit to do. Like,
Yeah.
I need two of me. No, but I'm just saying, because I have heard a lot of the controversy regarding 23andMe and all these websites. It's like, oh, they're saving your DNA and they're gonna clone you or whatever crazy stuff. So I was just curious if they mentioned it as a user.
I mean, I think they. So I did remember reading it, and that's why I'm like, everyone's like, oh, why'd you do it? I'm like, I kind of knew what I was getting into even beforehand, because they're like, oh, is it okay if we like share this data? And it's just like, but that's how they make it. Like, they almost need to do it to make it more accurate. Because like I was, maybe not when it first came out. Like, I would say maybe it's like the second generation of like the 23andMe, because like it wasn't as specific to like every few months the app always gets updated, and they'll like, oh, like now it's even more pinpointed. It's like first it was just like, oh, you're Southeast Asian and Chinese. That's it. And then later it's like, okay, you're Filipino and Chinese from this particular part of China. And then it started to
they
get,
even specify the region.
And then so that's what I mean. That's why like I didn't mind forfeiting like my information, because I'm like, well, this is for science kind of thing, right? So yeah, because it's like it got super fucking accurate later. It's just like, oh, you're this kind of Filipino from this island and blah blah blah.
All right, let me ask you this though. After doing it, after seeing your results, did you have like an identity, not a crisis, but you just, okay, so what? Now you're 18% opposed to like being full Filipino. Like, what do you do now after hearing that information?
I knew I was Chinese.
Oh, okay.
I thought I was a quarter, and I was like,
right,
oh,
cool,
never mind, it's 18%.
Maybe some people take it and they're like, oh, shit, like, I'm 25% this, and I had no idea.
Right.
At what point do you kind of, like, accept that as a part of your identity? Like, do you ever?
Like, what do you mean? Like,
okay, say I took it, and I realized I wasn't 50% Filipino. I was actually 50% white, and not even Filipino. I was something else. And it's like, wow, what do I do now?
You're like, do you like, I guess, embrace more of the other culture because it's a higher percentage?
Right.
You mean? Like,
yeah.
Well, honestly, I'm a bad Filipino and Chinese person in the sense that I am
how
like,
do you term like bad?
I'm like hella whitewashed. I don't speak mother tongue.
I don't either.
Yeah.
Like I was just there in March, and I had like such a big self-identity crisis.
Oh man.
Yeah. Anyway, that could be a different episode. Seriously.
But I mean, like, I don't know. I always told people I'm a banana. It's like yellow on the outside, white on the inside.
I haven't heard the banana one, but I've heard the Twinkie one.
Oh yeah, same thing. Yeah. But the banana's more frail.
Yeah, definitely. Me too. I bruise like a banana, so I guess that's me, AF.
I mean, that's like, I'm like more, I get not necessarily involved, but like, I kind of like more of like Japanese culture, even though I'm like far from being Japanese. But just to me, it makes sense. Like, it kind of sucks. And it's like, I guess for me growing up and living in Haaai, it's, especially being like Filipino, you don't feel like a minority. Like, we're the majority. Kind of. It's just like mixed with Polynesian. But anyways, it's like not until
it's similar cultural values though.
Yeah,
like very familial, very community oriented. Yeah.
And it's like not until like I left, and then these are just like short trips to like the mainland and stuff, where it's like, okay, I find other Filipino people and they're just like so about it, so embraced by it. Like, in like, I think like in particular, it was just like in New York and stuff. I'm like, holy shit, like, okay, like those guys, it's weird for me to say. It's like meeting those guys in like New York made me proud to be Filipino. I'm like, oh shit, like they're really fucking into it. And like, it's like one thing, especially living in Hawaii, to like hear people speak Filipino. It's kind of like, I don't want to say frowned upon, but you're just like, oh, okay, whatever. But then like being someplace outside where like Filipinos are actually the minority, and like hearing it, you're just like, oh, like now you want to embrace the culture. Now you like kind of, I guess, feel that.
Do you think
connection.
You'd ever want to learn Tagalog or Ilocano?
I think now, being older, yes. Like,
why do you think that is? Because I just had this personally happen to myself as well, just being in the Philippines and not knowing the language, and there was that gap, that I couldn't even communicate with a part of my family.
Oh.
Yeah, and so it's just they didn't know English and I couldn't speak Ilocano, so it was just
so you had like a little bit of a identity crisis.
I did. And that's part of the reason why I want to go back.
Oh wow.
And I would love to kind of
was that your first time to the Philippines?
That was my second.
When was your first time?
2005. It's like years ago,
okay.
like 15 years ago,
Yeah.
you know, but so much has happened since then. And
Mm-hmm.
it was terrible timing to go because this is in the height of coronavirus and everything.
Got it.
But I would love to go back and learn the culture more and learn the language even. So.
Nah, yeah, I think I'm with you on that because it's like, I don't know if that might have been the last time I went to the Philippines too.
When?
I want to say 2005.
No way.
Or like maybe within there, like I don't
Yeah.
think it was like 2010 because I kind of told myself, I'm like, I'm not coming back here for like
I
another
love
10
the
years.
Philippines.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
I mean, I guess, well, it's like, what was it? I guess I was like, was I still a preteen maybe? Or something?
Preteen.
Well, it's just like a younger age, but I was,
Yeah.
I know, wait, was I in elementary? I know I wasn't in high school. I might have been like, I don't know, maybe like 13, 14 the latest. And then, yeah, that was when I was like, okay, I'm not into this third world country vibes, whatever, you know, because it's like, you don't really appreciate it.
Yeah. And it made it literally, when I went there too, it's just, I noticed all, like going to the grocery store even. I saw the whitening soaps.
Oh, silk.
Yeah. It's called like
sweet.
snail yogurt or something like
Oh,
that.
okay, yeah.
Just because culturally they want to have fairer skin. Whereas here in like a westernized culture, we want darker skin. We want tan skin. That's
Brown
more
is
appealing.
beautiful.
Right, exactly. So it's just the cultural difference. I love how different it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was something that appealed to me when I was there.
Wait, do you know why it's whiter is better?
Well, it just doesn't it stem from the working class?
Yeah.
Like being paler, you don't have to work.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
No.
Totally.
Yeah, that's
okay.
exactly it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's why it's like whenever, or it's always a thing. It's like, especially if you're Haaai, it's like you have such a greater chance of like being famous in the Philippines. Just throwing that out there.
Hey, no. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's, yeah.
Do you plan to go back? Like,
I think now I'm ready. Like,
Oh, you
I'm
should
mentally
go.
ready.
Yeah.
Like, I would want to do it as like, okay, so I actually wanted to do like a Philippines tour where it's just like,
come visit me. I was planning to move there.
oh, damn.
Yeah, I don't know if I barely,
Yeah,
you know. And so I moved off island
Mm-hmm.
in March and I went to the Philippines. I had a few contract offers out there.
Yeah.
And that's when coronavirus happened, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And so I came back to the States
Mm-hmm.
to kind of get my visa stuff in order. I'm going to manifest this. Hopefully I will get to go back
Mm-hmm.
once everything settles. But that was, in the grand scheme of things, my plan to just live there and for myself culturally to connect and to get to know my side of the family, do what I love out there. And yeah, just... Sorry.
Crazy. Yeah. No,
go
that's
on, go
awesome.
on.
Yeah. Because I guess for me, so like my Philippines tour would be like, I mean, kind of that word. Like I would want maybe like 3, maybe to like 5 friends that have like family in the Philippines. So we could do that. It's just like, you can like, you know, I mean,
Come
not
visit,
yeah.
you know?
Or just like, you know, because like everyone has family there. So like we could
Yeah.
just like do a tour in that sense, like experience the wide, I don't know, spectrum of
It's such a
life.
diverse place too. You know, we went to Boracay and that was beautiful. Just the water and it's so different from going to, you know, Metro Manila and like Makati and those areas, the more densely populated areas.
Yeah.
And just even going to the province. Where's your family from anyway?
Man, I really see. That's the thing. I don't know.
Oh man.
I want to say like it's close to Manila, but not too sure. But it's like from what I remember the last time visiting, it's like I think between like my mom and like my father's side, it is super like what
Like
is
the
it?
province?
Well, it was mixed. Like no, I didn't. Did I go to farmland? I didn't go to like farms, but it's like more province area, and then like I think at the time like my cousin or something was like dating some guy whose family was just like balling, so like we went to this freaking $1 million like country club, and I was
That's
just like,
awesome.
what the frick is going on? Like it's so crazy.
$1 gets you a long way in the Philippines too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, but yeah, so that's that. But yeah, so I would want to go just to document and things and whatever. But yeah,
Like what? I'm curious of this like Philippines tour.
What do you mean? Yeah,
Yeah, what do you have in mind?
I mean, that's kind of it. And just
Yeah.
like, I don't know, like go for a month, you know, because everyone goes to Philippines for a month and comes back like 10 to 15 pounds later. So,
Oh my God, let me tell you, it is true.
so what happens?
That's true. Yo, if you're trying to lose weight drastically, go to the Philippines.
Yeah.
Go-
It's just magic. Something
Yeah.
happens. Just don't
You
drink
get
the water.
sick.
Yeah. I mean, you can drink the water. Take a shot. Let us know what happens. Like,
yeah, seriously.
never mind your cleanse. Like, that will, oh my God, that will cleanse you.
Yeah, no, for real. Yeah.
Oh boy. All right. So, going back, where were we?
We were talking about RuneScape. We were talking about
Yeah.
finger banging,
Oh my
South
God.
Park.
What is that?
What else? Philippines. Yeah, do you guys have any recommendations?
I don't know. Or, wait, for Philippines?
Oh,
Or
no, I was
just-
just, because we're
Okay. Oh,
IG
no,
Live right now. So people watching.
Oh man. Okay, so going back to first dates.
Oh, yeah, we were
Yeah.
talking about dating. Okay, yeah.
So yeah, I totally don't get hints, whatever. But
Why do
Yeah,
you think
I
that
don't
is? Or do you just not pick up on social cues? Is that
am I a retard? I can't say that.
Oh my gosh, stop.
That no, I have this
Boy.
have had. Mm-hmm. Do I still have it? No, I think I got over it. No, I had this like.
This is why we therapy,
Oh, hell
honestly.
yeah. See a therapist. If you don't have one, find a therapist.
Seriously.
Everything I produce, I actually say that.
Shout out to my therapist.
Yeah.
Dead ass.
But like, yeah, so I was like telling my therapist, like in the early sessions, like I had this like weird fear that I was like, am I like autistic or something, where I'm just like, cause okay, so like my thing was, and it sounds, okay, this actually sounds like a fucking perfect movie, just FYI. But it's just like, you know, getting all these like compliments, whatever, from people. It's like, oh, good job and whatever. I'm like, oh man, what if it's just like, what if
they're
I'm
just saying that?
yeah,
or-
they're just saying that, and then like, you know, if this was like a movie being shot, you just see this person living like a normal life and whatever, right? And they're like, oh, good job on this, oh, you did awesome, blah 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 blah. And then like imagine like you see like it's like, let's say it's like shot, you know, POV from like their perspective, then it's like all of a sudden near the end of the movie, whatever, it like pans out and then you see how the person looks and he's like, you know, kind of a special needs person or whatever. And then like, then it like, you start thinking back of like all the things that he did and you're just like, oh, he was just doing normal stuff. And then they're just like congratulating him because he didn't realize that he's different. That was my craziest
Wow.
fear. Yeah. I was-
That actually be.
You're like, oh,
Oh shit.
what a twist.
We gotta go. We gotta write this movie. Let's go.
But yeah, I had this like freaking weird fear of that for some
That's
weird
an
reason.
interesting fear.
Yeah, and I think it's like it's part of this. Like,
How do you even bring that up to a therapist? It's like,
I mean, I kind of explained it to
Yeah.
her like in that sense, and it's. I guess for me, it's more of like, okay, I was going through like imposter syndrome because that's pretty much what it is.
what? Okay, for those explaining to me, what is imposter syndrome?
So it's like it's almost like. Could you say you're like in denial of like what you're doing? So like, okay, in like specific, it's like me as a photographer where I'm just like, you're almost like over analyzing, over critical of yourself. And you're just like, oh, I'm
so
yeah.
self-critical.
And then you're just like, oh, I'm an imposter. Like, why are people even doing this?
God,
And
did
then like
you
it kind
just
of goes into
diagnose me?
Yeah.
Is that me?
I think maybe, yeah.
Oh man.
I mean, that's what imposter syndrome
one
is.
sec.
yeah.
Let me call Judy, my therapist. Shout out Judy.
I know.
Big booty Judy. Oh my God, that's terrifying. Have you?
I'm so scared now. You're like,
Have you heard-
I especially like, is this real? Like, yeah. I mean,
Have
that's
you
what
heard
it
of
is.
spotlight effect? That
Sounds familiar, but I don't
Okay.
think so. Yeah.
okay. So I took a psychology class years ago, and this is the one thing that always stuck with me because I thought like maybe I had this, and it's the fear that people are watching you all the time, but when in reality nobody's watching you, and so you get kind of not like watching as in a stalker way, but say
yeah.
like you get up and you're like, oh, you know, those people like might think that of me, or it's just kind of like discouraging yourself and people noticing something about you, but when in reality they don't give a shit. Like,
Yeah.
they don't even see you.
I mean,
You're like, no, absolutely not. I do not.
I'm like, are you talking about when you smoke too much weed and the paranoia kicks in? 'Cause
yes, that's it.
get that. Yeah.
I mean, I guess so. I guess
I mean, it sounds like a type of
Low
paranoia.
key.
And like borderline schizophrenic. God damn.
I swear, I'm not crazy.
Crazy. Just a little bit.
No, I'm not.
It balances the crazy hot scale.
Does it? Is that okay? Can we talk about that? What is
Yes,
that?
we can't. Wait, what do you mean? Do you really
I've
not
seen
know?
okay. I've seen YouTube videos about it, but
Crazy hot scale. I don't know if
break it down. Let's go, Chris.
I don't know if it actually came from that TV show How I Met Your Mother. Have you watched How I Met Your Mother?
I haven't, but unfortunately
God,
I think
it's
I've
so
seen that. I think I've seen that.
To the people that do, legendary. Anyways,
Is
you'll
it
get that
true?
later.
Crazy hot scale.
I think so.
Really?
Yeah.
Depending on how attractive a person is, you're going to tolerate more.
100%.
I think it depends on your value. You know, if you value someone who's physically attractive, or if you value vibe more and like their personality. Are you a personality person or a looks person?
I guess you're right, but I don't know. Man, how do I make an example of this? I mean, it's like that's the thing, is it plays into everyone's biases, hands down. It's like, I mean, it's like really of an extreme to say, like, if someone came up to you dressed in a suit, whatever, has like nice shoes and all that, and he's like, okay, or whatever, just like, no, shoes is okay. That's the secret. Working in Chinatown, how to spot a homeless 101. Look at their shoes.
Just look at their legs. Just look at
If
them
they're
as
wearing
a person.
no, it's the shoes, dog. the shoes
It's
say
the shoes,
everything.
yo.
Think
Okay,
about it.
I see.
Think
Okay.
about it. Everyone out there listening and watching.
Me
think
taking my
about it.
notes.
Hell yeah. But anyways, yeah, okay. So like, if someone that's like dressed pretty dapper and it's like, asks you if I can borrow your phone for a minute because whatever X, Y, and Z reason. I mean, okay, that's like a really bad example because I would fucking never give my phone to anybody. But anyways,
I mean, would you now anymore with
No,
Corona
yeah.
running around?
Probably not, but
Yeah.
we'll say BC. BC is now before Corona. Sitting at
Corona
now.
BC, okay.
Yeah. We're taking it back, guys. Taking it back.
To the good old days. Go on.
But I mean, it's like, wouldn't you feel more enticed, or not enticed, but it's like, wouldn't you feel like more comfortable, or just like, oh yeah, sure, like whatever
But
kind
you
of thing.
can argue this about anything. I've seen more attractive people get paid more. They're more inclined to get better service. But I mean, I wouldn't give someone my phone, to be honest.
Okay, yeah,
Depending
that's why
on
I'm
how
just like, okay,
attractive they
maybe
are.
that's like
Maybe
a
that
bad
was-
reason
that-
or
yeah.
a bad like example. But I mean, okay, let's talk from like a guy's perspective, and it's
All
like,
right, yeah, let's
not.
hear a guy
I'm not
perspective.
representing the majority by any means, and whatever, just from my own personal experiences and observations. Saying this just to cover my ass.
Oh, okay.
But anyways, I mean, yeah, it's like, well, it's just like, you think about it in like a romantic relationship where, what am I trying to say? It's just like, look how many people put up with like being in a bad or toxic relationship. And it's just like, if they're fugly, it's like, sorry, I'm going to get fucking using the
Say
worst
it.
terms
Yeah.
ever. But like, you would freaking break up with them so fast. But then if you knew, like, if you're a 5 and they're like a 9
Okay,
or whatever.
Let's lay this out real quick.
Okay.
Okay. Picture all the people that you've dated, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Do they all look the same? Are you more attracted to vibe? Or I mean, like personality, excuse me. Or is it like a physical attraction that you have that you value more? Because if I were to lay all my exes out, they are night and day. Like,
What do you
I'm
mean?
such a personality person.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, such a personality person.
You are
Personally.
rare. Well, I mean, I don't know. It's like,
Well, if
Yeah.
someone can make me laugh, like,
oh man.
yeah.
Sucks that I'm not funny. Anyways. But I mean, okay, I can 100.
You're a looks person. I feel like you
I'm
are.
hella shallow. Like, I can say that. And it's just like, I don't know. Is it because I'm a photographer? No. I mean, kind of. Like, I'm like looking at things, but I'm like, I look at things really, I don't know. I'm looking at like weird fucking details because I'm just like looking at, or like, okay, I'm not.
Yeah, give us a
yeah,
photographer
well-
perspective.
Okay, so like, Well, that's the thing, right? It's like I'm like a weird subcategory of a type of photographer, because it's like some of my friends too. They're like, what they see in me and my style of photography is they're like, oh, you're more of a glamour beauty photographer. I'm like, what do you mean? It's like, you know how to pull the best out of people and make them look good. And it's true. Like half of the model or people that I shoot, they're not models by any means. And like, this is, so for me personally as a photographer, this is what brings me joy, is like bringing in people to my studio, taking photos of them, especially that, you know, I'm more of a studio photographer, and I really take pride in my lighting. But
Yeah,
anyways,
you do.
yeah. But it's just like a lot of these people don't get the chances to get their photos taken like this, and like, and it's like I don't even want to use the word professional because it's such an umbrella thing. Like, because there are professional photographers
Bro,
that
I'm
like
sitting
look.
here in your studio looking around. You have clamps for everything. You are a
Yeah.
professional.
Anyways,
I'm just kidding.
but yeah. So it's just like, what am I getting to? Yeah. So for me, it's like okay. So with that said, it's like, does that still make me shallow? Because it's like I can find and make, like, and it's like
No,
don't,
I would say
yeah.
that you have a wider perspective, though. You know, that you work with such a wide variety of models that you're able to appreciate beauty in all types of terms.
But I also can destroy you. Like,
Okay,
I
so
can
don't
find
get
the
on
bad
Chris's
details. I'm just like,
bad side.
I was like, oh yeah, you're cute, but
But-
boom. And then you're just like,
Okay.
like, how did he notice my little toe does that? I'm just like,
You're so observant, though.
Yeah.
It's kind of terrifying how observant. I sent him a picture of my Super Nintendo that I bought, and you knew where I got it from.
so he'll,
Just by the packaging.
yeah. So
Who does that?
So
It was clear. There's no logo.
so let's describe the photo for the people. So it's just like,
Yeah,
what was
care
it? It
to
was like on
describe
your
it?
floor.
Yeah.
And then literally imagine a Super Nintendo just like heat shrink wrapped. Like literally, that's it. There's no tags anywhere. And I look at it, and like my first response to Chris was just like, hey, is this from
Eco Town.
Ecotown? And she's just like, how the fuck did you know? I'm like,
The fact that you're like, yo, we have the same hardwood floors. I was
yeah.
like, what? Just like, I had to scroll up. I had to scroll up and be like, wow, that is the same color wood too.
Yeah,
Like I would
it's same grain and everything.
I would say that I'm pretty observant, but you just like take it up a notch and you're like, wow, like no.
am I totally gonna poke the bear on myself? Am I observant
it.
or is it creepy?
You really want me to answer that? No, I'm kidding.
It's only creepy if you get caught, just saying.
No, I'd say observant, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
What were you saying? Oh yeah, so like for me, like, so like, I mean, okay, we just painted a picture of like how much, like, yeah, like observations and details I go into. So I'm like, well, that's why for me, I guess it's like the initial attraction would be like on that, the personality, I mean, not personality, but the physical attraction.
Okay, but what about this? Say a girl walks in and she's just physically boom, boom, boom. She checks all your boxes, but she's an asshole. Like her personality
Oh, then
sucks.
fuck that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put up with it. But then that's
Okay.
me because I'm because I see a therapist.
Okay, we woke in here. I see you.
No, so it's like funny because like I don't like I don't like. Oh man, fuck! Where's my
Go
phone?
off. Let's hear it.
What is that? Well, so I took this. That's the thing. I gotta have you. Where's your phone? Take this gender test thing.
need my
The gender
phone?
chart. No, yeah, I know. I want to see what your result is. So I had me.
Can you look something up?
Yeah.
Don't mind my soap recipes.
No, no
please.
worries. So I took like this gender chart test thing.
What? Okay, what is it? I've never even heard of a gender chart.
Shit. Where is it? Oh
Is
my
it
God.
like if you're more feminine or more
Yeah.
masculine?
I gotta pull it on my phone and find it. But
Okay.
yeah, so anyways, it like found mines, and it was pointing more that I'm like more androgynous kind of thing. It's like what was it like? It wasn't 90% 90. Well, no, I think it was like close to like 80 and 90%.
How many questions is it? Like what type of
It
questions?
was like
they
real.
ask you?
Well, that's the thing. It's like not super specific. It's like broad questions. It's like, oh, how. Man, I totally forgot. But it's just like it's like either it's like a yes, like extreme yes, and or no, extreme no, and a neutral. Like literally, that's it. And it's just like this real quick questionnaire thing, and then like based on that, it like shows this chart, and it's broken down to like 4 quadrants of just like masculine, unidentified, feminine, and then the opposite corner of unidentified would be androgynous. And then I fell more on the androgynous, closer to feminine.
I can totally agree to that. I feel like everybody has feminine energy and like masculine energy.
Oh yeah, I tell people I'm a lesbian in a guy's body.
Yeah, I can see that 100%. Yeah.
But where was I going with this? Oh, the physical attraction thing. Yeah, and it's so for me, it's kind of crazy because it's like I don't like or. So with that said of like taking that gender test and kind of like knowing myself more, whatever, or being more self-aware of what I'm thinking and feeling, compared to like the majority of men, not saying all, I mean, majority does mean almost all, right? But it's like whenever there's someone, let's say on IG, everyone's like, oh, fuck, she's super hot, whatever. I'd look at it, it's like, is it weird? I'm not really attracted to like super hot people. I'm just like.
Really?
Well, because it's like.
What is it?
Well, okay, this is like my personal bias of just like, what is it? I feel like, and you know, that's wrong of me to think because it's like, again, it's like a bias of my own and kind of stereotyping where I'm just like, oh, they don't know what struggle is kind of stuff.
Really? So you like attribute physical looks and then what do you mean by struggle?
It's just like, so I have a lot of female friends and they're just like, now being older and like, I'll say like mid to late 20s, they're just like, I mean, that's the thing. It's like most people I'll feel, I don't, you know, comment us, message us, whatever. If I'm wrong, I'm sure I'm open to other people's opinions, but it's just like, what am I trying to say? Yeah, like other women or females that like get into relationships with people that are super hot, they're starting to realize like, oh my God, this guy has zero substance because they're so attractive. They don't need to work on themselves.
Yeah.
And
100%.
so like when you get into a relationship, you know, there are people that just hook up, whatever. And then like afterwards, when you start like opening up the shell and you're like, holy shit, this thing is hollow. And then I think that's probably where like, you know, that term of like, oh, you're fucking shallow comes into play, right? Because all they care about is the outer shell.
Okay, let me ask you something that now that we're on the topic of relationships, do you know your love language?
I don't know. So what are the different ones? I want to say mine might be. Okay, what's the five?
Okay, there's physical touch, there's quality time, there's words of affirmation, there's acts of service, and then I forget the fifth one. Gifts, I think. Did I say that?
Acts of service? No, that's not the same thing.
Yeah. So that's the five then. Gifts. So I feel like if you're going to be in a relationship, if you're ready to be in that part, whatever, it's really beneficial to know how you receive love and how you interpret love. Because maybe you and your partner, and this is something I've also learned from therapy, shout out to therapy, but just knowing what your partner interprets as love or how they receive it. I feel like that's so, if your partner values physical touch and then you value like quality time, you guys may not see eye to eye.
Yeah. So are you saying the relationship won't work or you have to find that to figure out the compromise?
I feel like any relationship will work if you it's not, I'm not saying that it won't work, but I'm just saying if
that's like the struggle that's gonna happen.
Yeah, definitely. And if you know and you're more mindful of what your partner likes and dislikes and what they prefer, that's just, that'll be more beneficial to your guys' relationship. Definitely.
Right. See, but most people won't take the time to do that.
Which is interesting because, you care about yourself. You should care about your significant other and what they need to feel validated as a person.
Right. So what is your love language then?
Mine is definitely...
Where's my notepad? Welcome to our first date. This is the title of the episode.
Yeah, just so you guys know, this is our first date. Let's see. What do you think yours would be?
You know, everything you like said, I'm just like, oh yeah, I get that. Yep. But I think mine's honestly is physical touch. But I don't like PDA. But
yeah, see, that's the thing is I don't like physical touch either. So write that down. No,
so that's where we won't work.
Yeah. But I think mine would be acts of service. It means a lot to me if I'm stressed, if I'm going through like a hard time with work and I got hella soaps to make or whatever, and you notice something like, oh, she looks like she's out of olive oil or like whatever she needs to make soap or, and they're like, oh, hey, I picked this up for you on your way home. I'm like, oh my God, like that means a lot to me.
Yeah.
I don't really care about gifts or anything like that. What do you? Yeah.
So you didn't know I'm actually a really excellent gift giver.
Are you? Is that your like talent?
Oh, I fucking make people cry.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, what is it? Do you just?
Well, so like an example, let's go into like me wearing the shirt, right? So you see the two dogs. So the owner is
Yeah, can you?
So these are like the owner's dogs.
There you go. For
the people watching. So yeah, anyways, like 1 year, and this is like, just through my network of friends, I got them. Oh, had a friend who used to be really into crocheting, and she could like, man, I totally forgot what it was called, but like, she could like crochet animals and stuff like that.
Oh, cool.
And so I took two photos, or I sent her photos of these two dogs, and I'm like, can you crochet this for me? And I didn't, And then so like I think it was like, Christmas time, gave it to the owners, and like, oh man, fucking
just
the wife,
tears,
bawling. She's like, oh my fucking God. Like, because it was spot on. Like my friend Megan, excellent crochet person. I don't know, is there a word for that? But
crocheter.
Yeah. But yeah, so like she killed it, but it's like stuff like that. Like, and my friend Cherish in like the studio too, it's like I made, I don't know, it was like some girl I was like talking to at the time, like it was her birthday coming up, and I had like a custom letterpress made like gift
See,
card
that's
thing.
thoughtful. Girls love that stuff.
Yeah, but here your boy is fucking
What?
One is the loneliest.
Single. It's fine, whatever.
Yeah, I'm here for self-improvement.
Yeah.
That's what I tell myself.
Shut up.
But where was I going with that? Oh, yeah. But anyways, what is my love language? I mean, I felt
What
like...
do you value? Like when you think about a significant other?
I mean, it's crazy because like everything you said, like minus the gift giving, because I tell people, I straight up fucking tell people that. I'm like, do not get me anything. And it's like, it's not that I don't want to get the person something. I always love giving people things, whatever. It's just like, I'm really particular.
Oh, you are? Oh, shoot.
Yeah,
okay.
like I'll take like a week or two just researching things that I'm like, okay, I need and whatnot. And I feel bad because like one time my friend got like, I was just into like home decorating at some point.
Tell me more about this stage of your life. Who even are you?
I know. So like, and then like, I don't know, she got me this, what was it? It was like I was like into floating shelves when floating shelves was trendy in like,
Dude,
early 2000s, mid 2000s.
I still love floating shelves. It's still a vibe.
But at like one point, everyone fucking wanted them,
Yeah.
right? And then like, I think she tried to get me one, and then like, oh, pardon me, it like had these like weird like hooks that were slightly embellished, and I was just like, oh, that's totally. And then she's like, oh, I hope you like it. I'm just like,
You're like, ooh, I
oh,
don't
maybe
like
no,
it.
wait. I think she gave me a shelf and like a weird candle set thing, and I was like,
Oh, that's quite a combo. It's a candle shelf and
something weird like that.
Interesting.
And I never put it up. I felt so bad.
What'd you do with it?
I don't know. I like left it in
Holy
storage.
shit! Hopefully she's not watching. Damn.
She knew later afterwards
okay,
because she's just like, it's like, oh, she's like, you could just tell me that you didn't like it. I'm like,
Oh, it's in the garbage. My bad. I saw it on Craigslist
I sent it to the Philippines, honestly.
in a Blink Buy-On box.
Yeah.
Damn.
But yeah, I don't know. It's like, but it's funny because it's like, that makes me sound like a fucking dick, hands down, saying it out loud. But it's like, I have like weird small stuff. Like I have like,
You know what you
cards
like.
and
That
whatever.
shouldn't be, a bad thing.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's why I warn people. There's only maybe like 2 or 3 people that actually fucking get me well. Like,
So if I ever need to get you a gift, I'm just going to get you
just go onto
alcohol.
Amazon.
Oh, there you go.
Look at my wish list.
Oh, there you go. See, that's an idea.
But yeah, I don't know. So yeah, I guess going back to like the love language thing, I guess that, for me, like, shit, what was it again? Like touch.
Okay, physical touch, quality time, words of affirmation.
Yeah, I can't like, they all, besides the gift giving, like, I don't know. I feel like they're all on the same level for me. I mean, is that even possible? I don't know. Maybe
You
we'll
should
do a
take
test.
it. Yeah, it's online. It's free. It's like 50 questions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's super. You can bang that out in like less than 10 minutes.
All right.
And then it'll rank it for you too. It's like number 1, number 2, number 3, etc.
So by the end of this episode, let's put a poll up and guess what my love language is and find out.
Yours is gonna be
episode
super
2.
bougie. I already know.
Really?
Yours is gonna be gift giving.
You still don't know who I am.
No, I literally. Who are you? You're an enigma.
Okay, so going back to this, to the title, welcome to our first date. So what I was holding on to,
Yeah.
fun fact for the people that are listening, I am bald. Not like bald. Well, I mean, fucking hairline receding a little bit. But anyways,
You still
I've like
look
buzzed
good.
my hair
Yeah.
bald. So fun fact, I used to have long blonde hair
What? Okay.
for like
you need to
7 years.
Can you post a picture?
And
I
the
would
people,
love to see this.
And this is what's like super, super fucking hilarious to me. It's because it's like, that's how I gauge how people know me.
Yeah,
Depending on what hair phase I was in. And it's like, if you knew me back when I had the long blonde hair.
So what
it was,
stage?
like, not a
what
good
stage is this?
So honestly, the
This
reason.
is like the quarantine, Chris.
No. I had this
Oh, okay.
like maybe like 3 years, 2 years, 3
Okay.
years at least now.
Okay.
So one of the reasons why was just financially. It's just like, I don't know. I reached this point where, well, I was spending almost like $60, $70 on a haircut, and it would only last for like 2 weeks because after that it would start growing out weird and like it would fall in a certain way.
Do you naturally have blonde hair? Or?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, so like that's after the blonde hair phase, and I had like, you know, the infamous. Every fucking Filipino had it, like, you know, like a lineup, a fade, and like
Oh,
the side,
hell yeah.
the side comb. Yeah. So I had that shit going on,
Yeah.
and like, you know, spending at least like, fuck yeah, $60 to $70 a month, and like the hairstyle would only look good for 2 weeks. I'm like, fuck, this is not worth it. This is actually costing me a lot. And then so that was reason 1 why I buzzed my hair. Reason 2 was it makes me look intimidating.
Intimidate. Yeah.
Like people weirdly take me more serious now because it's like, I mean, people that know me personally or just follow my page, it's like, dude, you see the fucking stupid things I post. Like everyone loves to see me where I poop for some reason.
What?
Y'all know who you are. Y'all know who you are.
I would love to see blonde-haired Chris. How long was it? Your hair?
Oh man, it was like a
Like
little
longer
bit
than mine? I guess my hair's not that long.
that part, like there, it was like resting on my shoulder.
Jeez.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was wild. And then
Damn.
it was like before it like later evolved into the Karen hair before it turned into the Karen hair. So that's why I cut it
the
too.
OG.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Shout
Okay.
outs like Skrillex and then what's his name? Jade from AFI.
Do you
It was
ever
that kinda hair.
associate like haircuts with the phase of your life?
I think so.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
that's a big indicator. I woke up this morning and I was like, I kind of just want to chop my hair even more.
Wow. What was the shortest that you ever went?
This is literally the shortest. I woke up one day and I was like, you know what? It's time to like cut all my hair off.
Oh damn.
Yeah, because I used to have really, really long hair. I went like through a phase where I didn't get a haircut for 3 years. I would get my hair cut in car doors, or excuse me, like stuck in car doors. No,
Yeah.
no joke. Like it was
Wow.
past my ass, kind of thing. Like super long hair.
Holy shit. How did you maintain that?
Ooh. Really? It's been an hour?
Yep.
Wow.
But yeah,
Damn.
so sorry. Go on.
I maintained it. I used horse shampoo.
Dude, I used to use horse
Yeah,
shampoo
that's
too.
the mane and tail.
I fucking lived off that shit. That
I
was-
know, me too. That's probably so bad for your hair. It's like $4.
I know. This was prior, you know, you'd find it in the fucking the pet.
The pet store. The pet store. Yeah. Shit.
This was before I got exposed to Lush.
Oh yeah, no, Lush. Yeah, we were talking about this the other day. Dude, Lush Cosmetics though.
Oh man. But fuck, where are we going with this? Sorry, getting live back on. Oh yeah, hairstyles. But yeah, where are we going with this?
Oh, we were associating like haircuts with the phase of your life.
Oh yeah. No,
I feel like
yeah.
it's pretty common for women though. Like if you go through a bad breakup or something, you're like, time to change everything. I'm gonna get a piercing, a tattoo, or a haircut. It's like always
that.
one of the three.
Oh, I always hit up my friends when they're like, "Oh, I just cut my hair," and I like slide in
It's like,
a DM. I'm
what
like,
happened? Are
yeah,
you okay?
pretty much.
You know?
So it's like my other friends, they kind of know me too. I'm like a vulture in this.
In what sense? I'm curious.
I'm like, I like. Okay, one of my hobbies,
Ooh.
kinda, is to people watch. I don't know.
Okay,
it's-
yeah, I love to people watch.
Right?
Yeah. Where do you people watch though?
I don't know, just kind of wherever. Well, you have like a particular spot. You're like,
well, I mean, like, yeah, I do.
okay. Well, again, obviously
People
now you
watch
can't.
everywhere, you know?
But where's your go-to people watch? Is it here in Kaka'ako? No. I like to guess in restaurants.
Okay. Yeah. Oh,
Are they a
restaurants.
couple?
Yeah.
It's like,
Or-
is this a first date?
Yeah,
And then maybe I'll be
yes,
like,
I love that. I love that. I'm just like over here eating my popcorn, looking at them, you know?
and then I'll just like wait for the check. I'm like, nah,
he
they didn't.
paying?
Yeah.
Are they going half?
They didn't do the, they're like, no, I got it. No, I got it. No, next time.
So awkward.
And I'll go like, nah, they're just friends. Like,
Is that how you gauge it?
hell
Where do
yeah.
you people watch?
I don't know, kind of everywhere, but like, I guess because I got so busy now that I'm like barely out.
Yeah.
And this is like BC before Corona. And like,
I love that, BC.
I think that's why I'm super addicted to social media, because it's like people
You're-
watching on the go.
Man. Honestly, all people watch everywhere. All people watch at the gym, to be honest.
It's kind of weird.
It's not weird because it's like people will do some weird shit at the gym. You know?
Go on.
How do I even go
How do
on?
you, like-
It's just such a wide range of people. You have like the
Yeah.
elderly people who like make too much noise.
Oh, the grunters?
Yeah, like why are you grunting right now? Like you're not lifting the. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't want to be an asshole.
Oh my God. Even though you are. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. We don't have to.
See, but
admit it.
then like, okay, sorry, for me, I'm like, is that really people watching? No, because it's like,
Yeah,
don't
that's
know.
people watching.
what's,
100%.
how much can you,
I would say a restaurant is
Okay.
definitely.
yeah, like I think that is my fave, hands down. Like seeing
Yeah.
people interact with someone, because you're stuck, technically you're stuck in this position for at least 30 to maybe an hour.
Were you ever a server? Did you ever work in the service industry other than working at Manifest?
I mean, nah, not really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it's like at Manifest I did everything but like service,
Mm-hmm.
like behind whatever. But anyways, yeah, where was I going with this?
People watching?
Yeah, so the Vulture. Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
Not wait, have you watched 30 Rock? No.
No, I don't have a TV.
I have no life. Anyways, for the people that watch 30 Rock, it's not that Vulture. No, not 30 Rock, sorry. Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Same guy though. Anyways, no, I'm just like in a Vulture as in I can sense when a relationship is ending.
Who are you? Seriously, you have like all these weird. I'm an amazing gift giver. Like, okay, how?
Well, because it's that. It's just like, okay, so as human beings, we're yep. But like,
What did they say?
no, they're like totally agreed with like Instagram is like a version of people watching. But so, anyways,
Is it though? Because I mean, it's only like one facade. I
It's
don't
like-
post shit, but I'm here in front of you. You know what I do every day. I make, you
kind
know.
of. But I still don't. And you don't know who I am yet.
That's true.
Find out more on episode 2.
Yeah.
But anyways, so where was it going with? Oh, the whole
vulture?
vulturing thing. Yeah, because they can smell death from miles away, and it's me. I'm like, what's that smell? I'm like, oh, it's a relationship ending. Like,
Not even. You only see like. Think about it. You're not in that relationship. You see a side of it.
okay,
You see it like a perspective
right.
of it, like a third party perspective. But I'm curious as to know like
What?
how. Yeah, like what are your
So, we as humans, if you identify as a human, are creatures of habits. And it's okay. So that's the thing. Sometimes it's like really obvious. You're like, oh my God, here, selfie me and my boyfriend, stories, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden, like, the tone changes. And then there's those signs where we're like, oh, how come your posting slowed down? Oh, how come you're like, and
I
then
think you're reading way too far into it because some people aren't that
Right.
active. Okay, maybe one.
9
they're
out of
not
10 times
active.
I'm right though.
Okay, but or maybe they don't post their significant other. Maybe they're private.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Well, I'm basing it off of their habits. If I followed them from like an X amount of time, I can like, oh, something seems fishy because normally they would be posting something or saying stuff like this, and then it's like I'm looking at. That's the thing. So it's like it's not also the like obvious of like okay them posting with photos of them together, but it's also of just like the types of posts, and then the kind of like what you're saying, like what we were
Like the
saying.
comments, you mean?
No, not the comments, but like
Or
the captions.
The captions, that's what I meant.
And then like the other hints would be like what you're saying. Oh, I changed my haircut. Oh, I got a tattoo. I got a piercing. I'm like, oh, it's that phase now. And I'm just like, and then it's like,
all
then you
key
find out.
indicators.
Yeah,
that-
exactly. So that's what I'm saying. It's like we're all creatures of habits, and that's what I'm looking for. Is I'm looking for the patterns.
I don't think that's not like
An obvious thing. Well, that's
Yeah,
why I
it's
said
not
9 out of
obvious.
10 times. That's still 90%. I'm just like, oh, something. Well, so, okay. An example is like one of my friends, like, she just like recently, she didn't break up or anything with her boyfriend. She's happily with her boyfriend. But like, we were like talking about, looking at Instagram more as a tool. And like, okay, here, go make a separate account. And then, cause like we did like photo shoots together, like she's not a model by any means, but it just like helped her self-esteem. And I'm like, here, separate the two. And it's just like, okay, you want more followers? You gotta fucking wipe your page of your boyfriend. And then people took that. I told her, I'm like, be careful. People are gonna start sliding your DMs, checking on you. And she's like, okay. 2 days later, 3 DMs, people are just like, oh, if you ever need to talk, and that's the thing. She never posted anything sad, but people noticed, oh, how come you're posting more of these photos of you? Oh, how come there's no photos of John anymore?
Unfortunately, now that I think about it, I have noticed a lot of people when I am really active on social media, if they're posting a lot more and if they're posting more sexualized pictures, like, oh, all right, what's going on? Like, you look good. Like,
yep. So yeah,
I've never put 2 and 2 together like that.
I low-key did that as a social experiment for her.
Look at you. You have all this time to do all these social experiments.
I know. Shout outs. I mean, she's a psych major, and her boyfriend too they're both psych majors, so they kind of know. But it's just like, I don't know, am I that bored or just that intrigued into like people's behavior?
No, I think that's incredible. Some people don't put that, like for me, for instance, I wouldn't have put 2 and 2 together.
Right. And then, I don't know, I guess for me, it's like, I mean, like what I said earlier, it's like we're a creature of habits. And so when people come into the studio too, they're like, okay, before we started this, you're like, oh my God, I ran out of dry shampoo and I fucking pulled out dry shampoo. And
You
she's
have
like,
everything. I'm looking around your studio like, wow, you have seriously dry shampoo, just endless supplies. Just always prepared.
but it's just because it's, I don't know. I mean, not saying it's common sense, but it's like, I guess it's me. Is it thinking ahead or like
You're always
figuring it out?
You're a planner. I know you're a planner. Yeah.
But then, well, that's the thing. It's like I can plan around people's behaviors. So I can like start hanging around with you and figure out like, oh, okay, this is what you want. And then I'll be like, oh, here, like, I don't know, like I'll maybe in like a week or two, I'll figure out what you like to snack on. And you just like randomly.
And
like,
then it'll slowly start being in the studio.
Yeah.
Wow. That's incredible.
I mean, it's like what I said. Like we took 2 shots of Tito's. I'm like, I fucking hate Tito's, but I bought it for my makeup artist.
Oh.
And
See, I haven't
yeah.
had alcohol since that last time I was in your studio either.
I was like less than a week ago.
I know. I'm like, I can't hang around you. I'm just going to start drinking.
I actually don't drink. I'm a social drinker.
See, I don't even drink, but here I
Wow.
am taking shots with you.
Yeah, I do. Bad influence. Don't hang around me. You
Seriously.
make bad choices.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I don't know. So I don't know. A few friends of me or mine kind of know. Like that's like a weird running joke. It's like,
What other talents, like hidden talents, do you have? I feel like you're just a fucking wild card. Because
what do you think I do?
What do I think you do?
Oh no, yeah. So that was the thing. So like while we were setting up this podcast, I was putting up. Wait, let's see. Call it liquid courage. Hell yeah.
Liquid courage, A.
That's what I said. Welcome to the first date. But like, so I was setting up and like, I was putting up this furniture blanket, the ones that you'd get at Home Depot and whatever, just to wrap whatever's fragile instead of buying like packing tape or packing paper and whatnot. So anyways, I had it set up behind me because I have like a wall-mounted AC. It's super noisy. And yeah, what did you ask? You're just like, oh, why are you even doing this? And I'm like, or wait, what did you say? Oh, like, how did you know?
Oh, I was just, how do you have all this experience?
Oh, yeah. So I'm
Like,
an
how do you have
audio
all this
engineer.
knowledge? Okay. Okay, next. What else? You have like all these
Like little
talents.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I like went to school, like I'm like, I have my degree in audio engineering. So I used to work in a recording studio. I was getting paid, not to like humble brag by any means, but like I was just fortunate enough to know the right people. And like as I was finishing up school, I already was working at a recording studio, even though I wasn't supposed to be getting paid. It was supposed to just be an internship, but I already was too deep in it. And like I even got offered to like manage the studio because my friend who got me the job was leaving. And like I was next in line, but I'm like, dude, I think I was only like 22.
Wow.
I'm like, no way I'm gonna fucking manage this. Like, and then like, I mean, it was cool. It was like a learning experience and whatnot, and that's what got me into like production audio later, because that studio did focus mostly on like VO work or voiceovers. So actually, it's funny because I never watched Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay, I haven't either. So.
Okay, cool. For the people that are freaking out here that I just said I never watched it, it was because I technically worked on it for a little bit. Oh. Yeah, so it was like the first one. I think.
Is it okay? It's a movie.
Yeah,
Pardon
yeah.
my ignorance. But
No, yeah.
Okay,
It's a Marvel comic turned into a movie, and now it's part of the Marvel universe with Chris Pratt from Parks and Rec. I know you probably never watched Parks and Rec.
I haven't, but that name sounds familiar.
So yeah, people listening, Parks and Rec all day. Anyways, yeah. So Bradley Cooper was in Hawaii. I think he was filming Aloha at the time, and then at that time, no one knew that he was Rocket Raccoon, which is this CGI raccoon character in the movie, and he actually does the voice for that. And Vin Diesel's Groot, and then I forgot who everyone else is. But anyways, Bradley Cooper is on island. He had to do pickup, so pretty much I saw the entire movie pre-CGI.
Oh, dope.
But then, that's why I never watch it, because I'm like, fuck, I already
Well, okay, how is it from, I don't know any audio engineers, how is it having to work on that side of the movie? Because I've been on sets before too. Yeah. But
from like voiceovers, I mean, it's nothing much, because like once you set it up, like we're connected through is it called ISDN? So ISDN is like a type of like, it's almost like it's like a high bandwidth internet that like you need like a commercial license to like get. So like the way that works, it like we're connected directly with Marvel. And then so they're getting all the feed, like almost no lag, and so they're able to direct him remotely. Like imagine Skype but on steroids, because they're getting like high quality audio, pretty much that you see in the movie.
Oh, cool.
So they're like kind of co-directing him and whatever, and then we're there just as like a shell or a hub. But yeah, so like I kind of got more into that, and like I don't know, did a little bit of like Nickelodeon stuff with Legend of Korra. The early, even that too, like Moana. I never watched Moana because we worked on it, because like, and then it was such an early phase. It was when they didn't even have the color; it was just the sketches. And then like I don't know if it made it into the movie, the parts that we did record, but yeah. So like the guys that you'll see on like, the morning show, NSNBC, whatever, like those two like older Haaai guys, like I've like worked with them. Like I wasn't the lead engineer; I was more of an assistant. And like, as an assistant, it's not really a glorified job, but it's like me like pretty much as like a second hands to the lead engineer or whatever, just making sure everything's okay. Like, oh, Chris, move this here, change that. But it's like still being in that same room of these people who like, these two guys who freaking created so much Disney, like things for Disney anyways. But
at what point were you like, this isn't something that I'm really passionate about? Or are you still doing those kind of jobs? I mean, I see you here at the studio lots, but I don't know if you do that as like a side hustle or.
Nah, I got burnt out.
Really?
Yeah, that's so.
Is it a lot of not manual labor, but is it really timely?
Well, so I got burnt out from musical clients, because there's this what is it? There was like this BBC skit that was trending a few years ago, and it was like in this like little short skit, it was what was it? Like it was a little video, it's like shot in a recording studio, and it's like the camera's behind the audio engineer's head, right? So like it's over his shoulder, you see him like messing with the soundboard, and like you see the singer through the glass singing perfectly beautiful. And then they cut into them, they cut to the singer in the booth and she sounds horrendous. And then so that's what the skit is. It's like, because they'll cut back and forth, like they're back in the record, or like in the, it's called the ISO room or control room, whatever. Yeah, control room. And like, you know, the engineer's going crazy, like turning all these knobs
Like a
to
DJ,
make her,
like-
yeah, to kind of make her sound good. Because like they go back and forth and like, yeah. So what like that said, like, so that's what burnt me out, because it's like a gift and a curse with home recording studios. Like a lot of people, you know, without home recording, Bon Iver would not existed. A lot of people, a lot of these recording artists of Billie Eilish would have not existed without home recording and stuff.
Yeah.
But with that said, a lot of people, it's like the technology advanced so far for the good, but also, you know, it's like everything. The tools can be used for good and bad. But what am I trying to say? So like, because the tools were getting so good, it's like
talent. Yeah, talent
dithered.
can diminish.
Yeah, exactly. Because like everyone's
It's
like,
like
oh,
that crazy hot scale, you know?
yeah. So like everyone was like, oh, can you just fix it in post? And I'm like, no, why don't you just fucking practice? Because it's like,
Yeah.
because people would come in. So there was like one session I had in particular where someone booked 4 hours and they wanted me, I don't know how many of you guys can relate, but they, you know, they booked 4 hours. They wanted me to record, mix, and master for radio play. And then like, you know, I did the best that I could. And then that guy wrote an angry letter to the owner and blah, blah, blah. And they looked at the file and they're like, dude, you only booked 4 hours. Like, what the fuck did you expect, kind of thing? And then, so like after that, like, because I had a few more people that came in, because being a house engineer, you don't get to pick and choose who you work with. You're just like, someone's here to record. All right, let's go, kind of thing. And yeah, so for me, that's what burnt me out. I'm just like,
Did you do that all here in Hawaii? Or
Yeah.
did you? Oh, okay.
and then so like I've brought that same practice, and then like, you know, that's the thing. It's like, you know, you listen to these old tapes, these old vinyls. A lot of the time there wasn't like multiple track recordings, maybe sometimes, and like they would had to get it on that first or that single take. And if you fucked up, like, all right, we gotta fucking do it again, like whatever. But it's like, you know, it makes you better. It makes you a better craftsman, depending, you know, on whatever field creatively that you do. And so for me, in photography, I've brought that same mentality in, where everyone's just like, that's why I kind of make it a point where I post certain stuff. I'm like, dude, I don't really use Photoshop. I'm like, why would you? Like, it's crazy to think that, you know, the human eye, I mean, like with AR or like augmented reality, virtual reality, it's gotten so good that like even like graphics and video games and whatever, it's like sometimes you almost can't tell. But the human eye and mind is very smart, and it can read when something's super fake. So I'm still like a believer of like practical effects. And what practical effects is, like, you know, imagine Never Ending Story, Labyrinth, like those costumers, those master puppeteers and stuff, right? But watching that movie, like, you knew it was fake, but you knew it was real, right? It's like you knew the character was fake, but you knew that actual puppet or whatever walking around actually existed there, the dragon or whatnot, right? So, but you were still able to get like kind of like dive into it. And then now with CGI, not saying it's a bad thing, but you can tell, you're just like, okay, it fucking pulls me out. Like, you know, when you see Spider-Man flying through the city and then like it cuts to like a CGI where like his limbs are moving kind of unnatural, and you're like, your brain knows it's fake.
Yeah.
And, yeah. And
Well,
then,
I mean, I guess one thing that I really wanted to ask you was, how did you venture off into photography? Have you always had that interest, or?
yeah. So I actually, like in high school, I did. It's the funny thing, because I always
Because this
did
is,
both.
for those who don't know, that this is actually how we met. That's how we originally met, in March.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how did you? So you've always had that interest in.
In high school, yeah, it's funny because, oh my God. Wait, can I say that?
Yeah, you can say it. Fuck it. You're
no,
halfway there anyway.
Nah, I don't know if I can legally.
Okay, never mind.
I gotta wait another year and a half.
Okay.
TROs, dog. I mean, it's not a rule. It's a stay away order. We'll get to that subject later. Anyways, but like, so like my ex in high school, she actually was the one that helped break me into photography. And it was like, I don't know. I always like wanted to get into it, and I did. So it was like junior year of high school, and I always like kind of played around from then. And so it's been on and off since then. And like, not until last year, 2019-ish, is when I kind of took it more serious, because it's like, I don't know, getting older, I always tell people it's kind of like, so I always gravitated towards studio photography. And the reason why is, with strobes and lighting, it's literally painting with light. So that's why for me, I'm like, I can like manipulate and shape things to help enhance the person or thing that I'm taking a photo of, and like change the mood on that.
And if you think about it too, just being in Hawaii and just thinking about the market, it's saturated with photographers, a ton of photographers, but everybody's doing the same thing. Yeah. And this is a conversation that I feel like we have constantly is I really appreciate that you shoot in studio, because there's not a lot of studio photographers here on island. Everybody's doing the same thing, posting with the same models at the same beach.
Yeah. You'll never fucking catch me at a beach.
Yeah, I know, for real. Catch us at a beach.
Yeah.
Like,
I low-key want to do it just to say I can. But anyways. But
you know, it just gets old. It gets really old. Everybody's doing the same thing. And I really like how you mixed it up and you're doing all these, you know, with lighting, and you're like putting this artistic spin on it. Yeah, of course. You got to give credit where credit's due.
Let
me gas you up real quick.
Yeah. That's that story I was telling you. That's kicking in. I'm like,
imposter syndrome. I don't know.
But yeah, so it's like I've always had an interest, and not until last year I took it seriously, because I got this studio space in Kaka'ako, and like, because
it's a game changer.
Yeah, well, because it's like, for me, I'm thinking more of just like an adult. It's like, it's fucking like, okay, it's cute from like, you know, teens to like maybe 25. Like, oh, hey, let's shoot at my studio. Where's your studio? Oh, it's my house, my living room. Let me move stuff. And it's like, you know, I'm not, okay, it sounds condescending.
Everybody's got to start somewhere.
Exactly.
You know?
And it's like, especially in Hawaii, like, it's really hard to find a space. It's really fucking expensive. But like,
everything.
Yeah. But it's, for me, like, I just needed like a designated space, and me living like all the way in the west side. It's like, I don't know, I guess, because like what I like to do is like kind of put myself in other people's perspective. And it's like, you know, if I reached out to you prior to you knowing me and I'm like, hey, let's shoot. It's like, okay, where? And I'd be like, oh, my house all the way in the west side. You would be like,
that diminishes your professional.
House.
Yeah, exactly. I completely agree. And then not only that, but just Kaka'ako in general, and this space is just, you're able to build off of each other's creativity from like a creative's perspective. Yeah. It's like always being constantly surrounded by other like-minded people makes you in turn more creative, and you want to try all these different avenues. So I think this is a perfect place to learn and to grow as an artist. Definitely. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's kind of, I mean, that's what happened to me. Like, I always did it in between, like, from the high school times till now, and it's like not until, again, like last year I took it seriously, but I've always did maybe small stuff here and there. But I don't know, I weirdly get bored, so every year I switch up things.
Really? Okay, why do you get bored? You get bored shooting people, or just
it depends, editing? Like my interest, whatever. So it's like I'll be like, I'm kind of over photography, let me go focus on audio or whatever, and then it would go vice versa. It's like, oh, let me go into like video production.
Well, that's kind of cool that you can bounce around to different things, though.
Oh yeah, and that's why I'm like, I always knock on wood. I was like, I'm really fortunate and lucky enough, because I have other creative friends where I'm envious of some people where they're just like, okay, this is my one thing you do. I'm like, it's like, dude, I kind of wish you had that. And they're like, why? It's like, well, because you just have one single focus. And for me, it's like, I'm you know, I'm fortunate enough to be, I guess, somewhat skilled in like all these different fields and like able to find jobs through that. But it's like, I'm still a little scatterbrained, because I'm just like, oh, okay, I can't, you know, especially like with like resources, it's like, fuck, hey, am I investing into sound? Am I investing into photography?
I feel like organization is so key when you're having all these different creative outlets. And I feel like we're such planner people as is. I remember when we were trying to, you know, even make a date, it's like, all right, let me get my planner. And you're like, let me get my planner. Let's compare it. So it's really, I think it's really awesome that you're having like all these different creative outlets. Because some people, you know, maybe they only have one, like I said. So,
but it's just like, I don't know, because it's like, for me, I guess what my envy is it's like, oh, I feel like you found your calling, and like I'm just like, here I am, just wandering.
Shit, you have multiple callings. You know?
Oh man.
And you took the chance.
Humble brag. Yeah.
Yeah. Humble
True
brag.
that.
Humble brag.
But yeah. So how about you?
No, I mean that's what I was saying. This is how we met. You know, I personally just graduated college before BC, before Rona. Yeah, I graduated in December. I got my degree in natural resources, environmental management, and I think you and I have like an ongoing joke about like who even are we, because
yeah, I would not guess that. Honestly, I was like, oh shit. That explains why you're
okay,
vegan.
What would you have guessed?
Dude, I don't know.
I'm curious.
Well, that's what I'm just like, what do you do? It's like, besides modeling, and like even then, yeah. So okay, sorry, that's like totally sidetracking, but it's like, what got you into modeling?
Personally, I've always wanted to model. Even when I was like 16, 17, I just had such a calling for it. If you know me personally, I'm kind of like a shy person, but behind a camera, I was always so comfortable, and I knew what to do in a lot of the cases, and I was able to connect and express myself artistically and whatever. And so I just had a passion for that. And, you know, I moved to Haaai. I went to school at UH. I graduated, got my degree, all the stuff that you're supposed to do. And I was going to school full time. I was working part time, and then I was modeling part time. So I got signed with an agency out here, and that was actually why I was planning to move to the Philippines, is I got a couple contract offers out there. And so that was my ideal plan, was I was going to model full time over there. But, you know, I came back here, which wasn't in the cards, but you know, that's what life is. It's just, you have to take it as it goes. And, you know, all the signs were pointing for me to move back to Oahu. And so that's what I did. I got my real estate license randomly. And I use that, you laugh, but I use that as motivation, because that's a really hard test. You have to take 2 tests. And it's like 60 hours. It's a rigorous course, man. For those of you guys who have gone that route, they can agree with me, but you know, I kind of use that as fuel, because you can literally do anything you set your mind to. Oh yeah. Yeah, and then now I'm making soap. And so I'm using like all these different creative outlets. I know it sounds strange, but me and my friend are making soap together, and we're incorporating nature into it. And so it's kind of like an art form, and you don't realize how much goes into creating. Yeah. And you know, I took a pause on modeling just for myself and with coronavirus and everything else, but it's something that I'm getting back into slowly. So I have, like you, all these different creative outlets that I can express myself. And, you know, we're still young. We're in our 20s. Oh, I'm like holding on right now. I'm 29. Didn't need to know that. We're going to bleep that out. But I mean, you can probably guess it. Yeah. Anyways, sorry, well, you look great for 20. Yeah. Ask me anything. I'm an open book. Let's hear it. Who's Filipino, your dad or mom? My mom. It's always the Filipino mom and the white dad. Okay. Come on. No, I've met the opposite, and I was like, oh, okay. Wow, shocker. I know. I was like, damn, he must have been gifted. Anyways. Okay. With that said, how did your mom react to you modeling? Yeah. Or was she for it or against it? She was against it. I feel like with having Filipino, my mom is from the Philippines. Okay. My mom was born in the Philippines, grew up on Kauai, and then went to California where she met my dad. I'm originally from California, but, you know, it was education first. I don't know if that's how your family was. They're so into education, and they see it as, it is. I'm not taking it for granted, but it wasn't until I booked and I got signed and I started booking and it started paying and I started traveling that she's like, wow, you know, maybe this is a possibility for you. And so I feel like she was discouraging at first, but it was something that I've always wanted to do and that I was really passionate about in the first place. And so I feel like with my mom personally, she was someone you have to see it to believe it. Yeah. Kind of thing. You have to prove her wrong. Yeah. I'm like, here, mom, like, here's the receipts. Yeah. You know? Hashtag Asian parents. Yeah, dog. I know. For real. Asian parents. We can do a whole segment about this. I know your eyes are closed, but you're like, shit. No, yeah, because I'm like thinking Asian about parents. We could do the whole episode about having Asian parents.
Did she? Okay, every people that or every person that has Asian parents, did she do the comparison?
No. Okay,
thing?
So back to my real estate. I just got my license, probably late June, early July.
Okay.
I passed state the first time I took it. I failed the national exam. There's two. It's a 4-hour exam. You're proctored, etc. I called her. I told her, "Hey, Mom, great news, but also bad news. I passed, but I also failed." And that wasn't good news. Why didn't you pass the first time around? It's like, oh shit, nothing I do is good enough anyway. It's whatever you do, whatever you succeed in. No hate on my mom.
Yeah.
She's phenomenal.
It's like, I get it because they want the best for us, but it's just like,
it's like, damn, have feelings. Be empathetic.
It's like, are you proud?
Yeah. Why aren't you proud of me?
Exactly.
But do you feel like having Asian parents makes you more empathetic now that you're raised in a westernized culture? Because I feel like having Filipino parents, you're just kind of closed off emotionally, but being raised in the States or being raised in Hawaii, is that something that you can relate to personally?
I want to say my predicamen's a little bit different.
Okay.
We already reached past an hour, so I'll save that. I'll get into that detail later because it gets fucking dark.
Okay.
We'll talk about it off camera a little bit. But anyways. Yeah. No, well, so I mean, that's the funny thing because it's like, that's it about the whole Asian parents thing. It's like, literally after I got my degree in audio engineering, the first thing my dad said, I mean, I think he might have congrats or whatever, but I really don't think he even said that. He was just like,
Asian parents are just so cold.
Yeah.
Why?
He was just like, okay, so you're going to take this phlebotomy course. And I'm like, wait, what do you mean? I'm like, then what the fuck was the point of me going to college if you want me to go into like phlebotomy?
What is phlebotomy?
Just the people that like draw blood and take shots and stuff. Yeah.
What?
See, that's what I mean. I was just like, oh man, I was livid when I was just like,
here's my degree. Okay, so graduating from from UH, we get 2 degrees. I gave my parents one and I kept the other. I was like, it just, I learned a lot going to school, but if I were to go back, I don't think I would have. Or I would have waited. Yeah, I would have waited 100%. Because I feel like 18 is such an impressionable year.
Yes.
And you're still trying to figure out who you are, what your passions are. And you don't have all the answers at that age. You kind of need to...
You got to explore.
You do.
And like, that's why I'm not an advocate about taking a break. I mean, sure, whatever, 1 or 2 years, but I'm actually like a strong advocate of going to community college because it's such a low investment. Like all the people that I graduated with, at least, I want to say like 70% of them like changed their degrees midway. They went from like science to medical or like, I don't know, like, or vice versa into just like really polar opposites.
Why do you think there's such a negative stigma surrounding going to community college as opposed to going to a university or a state school?
I mean, it's just like,
I'm always really curious about that.
I mean, it's just like
why is it a big deal? You're getting an education at the end of the day. It's a piece of paper.
Right. So let me bounce this off of you. Why is it a big deal wearing fake stuff? Like bootlegs. Like, oh, that's not a real Gucci sweater or Louis Vuitton, whatever. Because that's how I feel. I mean, am I reaching the viewers and listeners, let me know. Am I reaching, is that bad? I mean, no, not saying that it's not a real degree, but I feel like that's what the stigma is. They're like, oh, you're going to community college. It's not an Ivy League. It's not the name brand. It's like a generic, even though it could be a subsidiary of like how like the community college here is still part of UH system, right? But it's just like, it's just like,
what's crazy is a lot of the professors that teach at UH also teach at these community colleges. You're getting the same
education,
same
different
education.
Packaging.
Exactly. You're getting the same thing. It's like buying generic versus buying the name brand.
Exactly.
But you do bring up an interesting point about buying bootleg items.
Yeah.
Personally, would you go out of your way to spend more money on a Louis Vuitton wallet versus just buying like a... Does that matter?
Yeah, to me, kind of.
Really?
Well,
okay,
I mean, I'm not that... Yeah, I mean, I kind of am, but it's like, I'm not super into like the fashion stuff, even though I'll take photos of it. Like, I appreciate it for what it is. Like, if I had the money, like, I would wear freaking Yohji Yamamoto stuff all day. Shout outs Y3. But anyways, sponsor us. But like it's I guess the reason why I have a deeper appreciation for that is because I'm a creative, where I'm just like, I see what the differences are. Like, again, like what you're saying earlier, when we started this podcast of like being really observant and looking at the details, like I see why this name brand thing's a lot, you know, part of it is part of the cost comes from the marketing and like hype built around it and the culture. But then majority, I feel like a good portion of that cost is also coming from, you know, all these, oh my God, I'm going to like butcher the pronunciation. Altiers, the people that sew. But it's like a lot of stuff are like hand sewn. It's like, I mean, done by a machine, but still like operated by a person. And it's like, when you look at the way certain things are seen, especially like, another fun fact, I used to manage a shirt printing company for a year.
What company was it?
Anyways. Yeah, so like you would see, you know, it's like the way like you could get 3 different shirts, and like when you get like a designer shirt, like one, the material's different. Second, it's like the tapering, like, you know, that's why a lot of people, it's like, oh, you wear a designer, it fits better, because it does. Like it's not cut with a machine. It's actually, I mean, sometimes they are, but it's like 9 times out of 10, it's like, you know, there's certain things like a human person can do on a piece of clothing that a machine can't.
I think it just centers back into value. Like, what do you value? Do you, if it makes you feel better to spend more money and like rock that Louis Vuitton necklace, you do that. Like, all for it, you know, whatever you feel comfortable doing, but you cannot catch me like purchasing that stuff. I feel like
exactly.
It centers back to like how comfortable you are with yourself. And if you radiate confidence, but not in like a dick way, you know, and you wear a thrift store, whatever, you can make that look like $1 million, you know?
But then that's the thing. It's like I think, oh my God, there was like this one time, I've talked about it in like an old podcast, but like in like, okay, streetwear culture, there was like, I saw this guy out on the west side in like a Target, and like, there's like a formula to streetwear where it's just like, okay, he had, what was it? He had like Bape pants, the multi-pattern one, antisocial social club shirt, I think like a Bape jacket, maybe like a Supreme hat, and then he had like
just
some like
and
Yeezys.
swag.
Yeah. But then like looking at him, I'm just like, okay, you have all these like high ticket items, but it just didn't look right.
Yeah.
And I was just like, technically like the formula is supposed to work, but it didn't. And then the reason, like, we came to this conclusion, it's like the reason why it didn't work was because it didn't fit him right. Like it just looked bad. But like if you threw that on someone else that did fit right, like it would look good for the streetwear style. But
I don't know. I think it just goes back to how confident you are and like what you value. Yeah, I don't know. Like, you see me every day, pretty much. Half the stuff I own, dead ass, I get from thrift stores.
Yeah, but you make it look good.
What? I mean, like, I don't know.
I like how you like show me. You're like, you're not wrong.
No. I mean, like, I take a lot of pride into.
No, you actually have a really good sense
fashion.
of style.
Yeah. I feel like it's an extension of who you are and like how you express yourself. And it's another layer. You don't have to say anything, but okay, let's think of it this way. If somebody walks into a room and they don't say anything, and you see what they're wearing and you see how they carry themselves, you're going to formulate an opinion based on how they carry themselves and what they're wearing, maybe. Like, do you think so? Like, what are your thoughts?
No, yeah, I think so. Because it's like, it's almost like wearing a uniform. And it's like, for me, like, I guess I killed a part of me like that at one point. At one point, I started dressing up as a cartoon character. And then what I mean by that was I bought 3 or 4 pairs of the same shorts, 8 pairs of the same t-shirt. And I wore that same look every fucking day. Okay, think about it, because like a cartoon character never changes their clothes.
Yeah, 100%.
Except Rugrats all grown up. Just saying. That shit. Woo.
Okay.
No, that's like I mean, there probably are different cartoons that did do that. Like, realistically, in the budget wise, that doesn't make sense looking at production. But they actually took the time because, what was it? because the Rugrats were like in high school.
Yeah.
And they actually changed their outfit every episode.
You are so you're like literally, who is this guy? You're like the epitome of observation over here, and I'm over here like, oh, Rugrats. I would have never.
But what was I getting to? With
But
that?
no,
Yeah,
dead ass. I was like thinking, oh, what cartoon character did you dress up as?
Yeah, no, yeah, that's why it's like, I know you're gonna think that, but so again, like how I said, like, oh, okay, let's do a social study. So I did that to start fucking with people.
They're like, oh, does this guy live in his car or what?
No, because it's like, I think, what is
Does he
it?
not wash
I think,
his clothes?
I think only on Saturdays or Sundays or like days I was off, I would not dress like that. So then I started to program people and started throwing your days off.
Okay, you just like to mess with people. I swear. No, when I saw you yesterday, you were in my head about essential oils.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you're programming people to think of scents as in work, relax. And those are things that I never thought of. You know how people they smell a certain smell and they think, oh, that smells like my grandmother's house, and that brings up a really, positive memory. And talking about essential oils, and you like to, when people come into your studio and they smell the lemon, and they're like, oh, it's work time, it's work o'clock, we gotta go. And it's fascinating to hear that you're so intuitive. And
is that what that is?
I guess so. I just
Or maybe I'll end it, or like, let's start ending it with this. Is it because I'm a Scorpio?
I don't know. Did you listen to the one that I sent you the other day?
Yeah,
it's
that
like
one was pretty cool.
Yeah, they're pretty accurate. Yeah, I listen to that every morning.
But
for mine.
Yeah, so let's check this feed real quick.
Yeah, let's check it.
How many people came in? All right, Ryan DGR says.
Does anybody have any feedback
let's
for
see.
us? We talk too much.
She was saying Instagram Live, another form of people watching. Yep. Eyes. Someone saying, yo, what's up, Chris? Thumbs up. That seems dope, but wish we could. Wait. Oh, hear you guys better. Damn it. Okay.
Oh, okay.
What current
It's the the microphone you forgot. No, I'm kidding.
No, I actually do have a microphone just for my phone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We'll bring that next time.
All right,
First episode. But yeah, with that said.
You can find us on IG. I hate to plug myself, but you can find us on Instagram. Everybody.
Okay, let me end this feed. So let's figure out, I don't know. We'll let everyone, message us. Oh, we gotta make an Instagram for this. Oh shit.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
So either DM us or message us through the Instagram.
Yeah, if you guys
our personal or this one.
Yeah, if you guys have any feedback or want us to discuss a certain topic or liked something that we talked about and you want us to clarify, please let us know. We can dive more into it about our Filipino culture or our Asian parents, perhaps. Yeah, lack of Filipino culture.
All right. So where can the people find you?
I'm not. Yeah. Find me on IG. You can find me at Kristin, Kristin, Baucom, B as in boy, AUCOM. All
right. So with that said, and you can find me at bonfire_Baylids. So that's spelled BONFIRE_Baylids, BAELIDS.
I would love to hear the story of how your IG name came to be, by the way.
Man.
What is Baylids? I mean, I guess we can discuss this on our next episode, so you guys have to stay tuned.
Yeah. So, let's find out why my name is Bonfire Baylids. And with that said, am I forgetting something? No. Oh, if you guys are playing Don't Starve together or want to play, I just started playing with a few friends. So let me know, because your boys don't have friends. Anyways.
Hi.
Thanks for tuning in to the first episode of Sad Boiz and Girls Club.
Bye, guys. Take care.
Laters.